Landon's pumpkins. Planning. Landon was carrying the papers, cans, and plastic to the recycling bins after dinner. A bright newspaper ad caught his attention. Get your seat now for the fall harvest. Bright orange pumpkins, yellow corn, and green beans smiled from the ad. Landon remembered last Halloween. He and Chad, his 5-year-old brother, had spent the allowance on 2 pumpkins. Chad had drawn a scary face with markers. Landon wanted to try carving his own for the first time. Dad had showed him how to hold a knife and cut safely. Landon had worked on his pumpkin for a long time, but he really messed it up. It hadn't looked at all like a jack-o'-lantern. He wanted to start over, but he had no other pumpkin to carve. Landon put the plastics, cans, and papers in the proper recycling bins and hurried to find his brother. Landon put the plastics, cans, and papers in the proper recycling bins and hurried to find his father. Dad, do you remember that sick-looking jack-o'-lantern I carved last year? I remember. Dad set his book down as Landon sat on the couch beside him. Well, I was thinking I could use my allowance to buy pumpkin seeds. Then I could grow pumpkins. I'd have enough for them for Chad and me to practice carving. That sounds like a good plan, Dad said. I wouldn't need a space in the garden to plant them, Landon said. Oh, I think we can manage that, Dad said. Next day, Dad tilled a small patch of ground on the garden. Get some compost and we'll mix it into the soil. Land knew that they would need compost to make the plants healthy. All year long, he had put grass, clippings, fallen leaves, and fruit and vegetable peels into the compost drum, and then cover each layer with dirt. Dad told him that this reduced the garbage they sent to the landfill. After raking the tilled ground, Landon flogged directions on the seed packet. He planted the pumpkin seeds he bought at the store in 3 little mounds. He planted 4 or 5 seeds in each mound. He left an arm-length space between each mound for the vines to go. Then he stamped the dirt down with his feet. Finally, he got the watering can, filled it with water, and gently sprinkled each mound until the soil was wet. Growing. A few days later, Landon saw little green shoots making cracks in the ground. In another few days, the shoots grew leaves. It looks like frost tonight, said a weather reporter on television. You better make sure the tender garden plants are covered. Leonard thought and thought, how can I protect my pumpkins? A blanket or newspaper might smash the little plants. After dinner, Leonard spotted 3 empty plastic 2-liter juice bottles on the counter. It was his job to take them at the recycling bin. They might work.
He thought.
He cut off the bottoms of the plastic bin. Then he took the top parts of the pumpkin patch and set one over each tiny plant like a miniature greenhouse. That smiled. I'm glad to see you reusing things. Lana took off the bottles off in the morning so plants wouldn't bake in the sun. He saved the bottles to use the following night. Soon the nights turned warmer, and the plants were too large for the bottles. Landon pulled stubborn weeds and watered his thirsty plants. As the temperature crept high, pumpkin vines stretched over ground like a carpet of ivy. Landon happily wiped the sweat from his face when he realized that no room remained for more weeds to grow. Soon, bright yellow flowers appeared. Then, small green balls grew in the place. The vines sprout onto the lawn and into that part of the garden. Harvesting. The green balls grew bigger and bigger. By Halloween, Landon had a dozen bright orange pumpkins. He sold 6 to the neighbors, gave Chad 3, and saved 3 for himself. Landon cut off the top of his 3 pumpkins and screwed out the inside. Yeah, he thought. This looks like good stuff for the compost dump for next year's garden. Then he noticed that the seed looked just like the one he had planted in the spring. I can recycle these grow pumpkins next year, he thought, and I won't have to buy new ones. Let us spread the seeds on a paper to dry. But there were many more seeds than he wanted to plant. Dad, do you know of anything I can do with 100 pumpkin seeds? Leonard asked. Well, when I was a boy, I used to roast them in the oven and eat them. Hey Dad, good idea. I can reuse them as a snack. Who would have thought I could use the 3 R's? Reduce, and recycle to grow pumpkins, he said. Landon drew faces on his pumpkin. Then he followed the line with his knife. Each pumpkin looked better than the one before. On Halloween night, Landon was proud of the 6 scary jack-o'-lanterns that glowed in the front porch. Roasted pumpkin seeds. Ingredients: 1.5 to 2 cups pumpkin seeds, 2 teaspoons melted butter, salt, about a teaspoon. To make, get an adult to help you. Preheat the oven to 300 Fahrenheit. Clean strings and pull off the seeds. Lay them out on newspaper to dry for about 2 to 3 hours. Mix cheese in a bowl with melted butter and salt. Spread seeds in a single layer on a baking. Bake for about 30 minutes until golden brown. Stir occasionally. Instead of salt, try using cayenne pepper, garlic salt, cajun seasoning, cinnamon, or curry powder.